Hi, Aslam class. Sorry, I was just checking that my video is working. This is your English lesson for today on Wednesday, the 3rd of February. Let's start again. Welcome to your English video on Wednesday, the 3rd of February 2021. Right, let's not waste any time. We've already wasted enough time already. Let's get straight into what we're doing. We have been looking at non-chronological texts for the last week. And this week, you should have started to box up your ideas after Mrs. Van Haffel interviewed Mrs. Bowen on Friday. Yesterday, we went through, I looked at my box up that I had done, and I started to write my introductory paragraph with you guys. Hopefully, some of you may have done your own. Don't worry if you didn't. It was supposed to be kind of like a shared right. Today, we're going to move on from the introduction. We're going to be looking about how we're going to write our paragraphs for the next part of the non-chronological text. So here we go. You're going to need your box ups for you with your ideas about the interview with Mrs. Bowen. Now let's read over our paragraph that we did yesterday. I'm sure this is word for word. I did it on my whiteboard, and it's silly of me, I rubbed it all out, so I'm hoping that this is what I put down. Have you ever wondered about the life of our head teacher? Do you want to know how she became so successful? Read on to find out about Miss Bowen's road to greatness. Now, I have included rhetorical questions in this to hook the reader in so that they can find out more about Mrs. Bowen by reading on, and I've introduced what our non-chronological report is about. It's about Mrs. Bowen, and it's about how maybe there will be parts of how she became a head teacher and how she was able to become so successful, and that links into like all the people that inspired her, childhood and things like that. So all these things link in nicely. So that was our introduction that we created yesterday. Now today you're going to be writing out the next part of your non-chronological report. So you're going to have a look at your box up, and you're going to be having a look at your paragraphs that you have boxed up for your ideas, paragraph 1, 2, and 3. So you should see here that this is a little bit hard to see. There we are. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we can see here that we've got, oh, now what's going on? We can see here that we've got our rhetorical questions. Why did this never work when you wanted to? Right, so we're going to go into our paragraphs. That's better. I can now scroll down here. Sorry about that. So paragraph, more detail about the subject of the non-chronological report. So here in our box up, we're talking about who she was, where she lived, what she did. So it's all about Mrs. Bowen, maybe about her early life. And then our second paragraph, sorry, this was about Boudica, wasn't it? The next paragraph in the Boudica's one was what she looked like. So what is your innovation? You're looking at your innovation on the box up, and you're looking to how you can then extend your innovation, extend your ideas into full paragraphs. Now, don't forget to refer back to the text map and your toolkits when you are doing your work. Let's go back to full screen. Sorry, guys, I'm having a... There we are. So make sure you go back to the text map. That should be on Teams. Make sure no one has deleted it. And what you need to do is make sure you go back to this just to help you and remind you what a non-chronological report looks like. Make sure you look at your toolkits as well, because you need to include things that you put into your toolkit into your paragraphs that you're going to be writing today. So let's talk about paragraphs. when we write in paragraphs, the whole idea of paragraphs is so that the reader can see clearly that what it is you're writing about. And within a paragraph, you need to have an opening sentence, you need to have supporting sentences, and then you need to have a closing sentence that is about a certain topic. So this is something I remember I learned this many, many years ago when I was at school about paragraphs. I was told by my teacher, think of a paragraph as a nice, juicy burger. Okay, it can be any burger you like. Okay, it can be a hamburger, a chicken burger, it can be a veggie burger, it can be any burger that you like. A nice, big, juicy burger. Now, to start with your burger, to make your burger, you're going to need certain things. So at the top of my burger, I need my bun, okay? And that's going to be my introductory paragraph, my introduction sentence to my paragraph. So what is this paragraph going to be about? So if you're doing your first paragraph about Mrs. Bowen's where she lived or where she grew up, you would say in your introduction sentence, this non-crucial is about Miss Bowen. This is where it began for her. This is where she went to school, or something like that. And then what goes inside my burger? Okay. Obviously, I'm going to need my burger. I may have a bit of lettuce that goes on there. I may have a slice of cheese that goes there, and maybe a tomato that goes at the bottom. Okay, all of these things that go into my burger are the supporting sentences for my opening. So let's say my introduction was Miss Bowen grew up in the local area of Langley. And then in here, I'm going to put my supporting sentences. What supports the fact that she lived in Langley? Well, where did she go to school? Mrs. Bowen went to school here for primary school, and then when she went to secondary school, she went here. She then went to university here, so you can see how these sentences are supporting this introduction. And then to finish our burger off, we need a bun at the bottom. And this is our closing sentence to the paragraph. And in this closing sentence, you would then refer back to the introduction, and you would say, it's clear to see that Mrs. Bowen stayed around the Langley area throughout her whole childhood. And that would make your basis of your paragraph. If you then want to move on to a next paragraph, or you want to make your next burger, you then have to change the idea. So this idea here, let's say, is about Mrs. Bowen, where she lived. Okay, and within that, we talk about where she went to school, primary and secondary. And then the closing one here sort of just comes back to the intro. So you refer back to the introduction. And there we've got our burger. Now we want to make a new burger. We need to make sure we're writing about something else. Now we're still writing about the same person, but why are we going to write about a different aspect? So we may then in our next paragraph talk about how Mrs. Bowen became a head teacher. That is a different topic because we're not talking about where she lived. We're talking about how she became a head teacher. So that's a different topic. So we need to start a new paragraph, or in this case, make ourselves a nice new juicy burger. That's just the way that I was taught when I was younger, and I thought it might help you guys out. When the person, place, line, or topic changes, you should always start a new paragraph. And when you start a new paragraph, you just miss a line and continue writing. Now, if you want to, you can click on this link. It will take you to BBC Bitesize, which gives you a little video about how to how to write paragraphs. So you can check that out if you want to. Why do we use paragraphs then, before we start writing them? We use, you can mind map your ideas, give yourself a bit of time. I know I've already hinted on it, but just write a list of things why we use a paragraphs. And let's go through some things. Paragraphs. To show the author has changed time, place, or argument. It's to explain or describe an idea in more detail. When you write stories, your first paragraph normally is all about the setting, yeah, because you're describing the setting. So that would be one whole paragraph. You only change it if you started talking about a different setting or you introduced a character to your story. It's to group ideas together. That's the main reason why we have paragraphs. It's to group that idea together. It makes it easier to read for the reader, you know what we're reading about, and to organize what is being explained in the text. And in non-chronological reports, subheadings are key, because when you use a subheading, it really helps you write your paragraph. Your subheading is about Mrs. Bowen, what she does for her hobbies. You know what you're going to be writing about. You're not going to be writing about how she become a head teacher in that section, are you? You're going to be writing about that she likes to go out and go to restaurants, she likes to roller skate. So they're the things that you would include in that kind of paragraph. So let's work through the next few paragraphs together. And what you're going to do is write down, for challenge number 1, you write down the subheadings you are going to use in your writing. For part 2, write out the rest of your non-chronological report, and task 3, create a fun fact box about Mrs. Bowen. So, because I don't want you to copy me, I'm not going to write this one about Mrs. Bowen, but I'm going to write a paragraph about something that you can, which will kind of help you. Okay, let's talk about, I'm going to write a paragraph about Fulham. I know a lot of information about Fulham Football Club, so I'm going to write down about Fulham. So here's my first paragraph. Fulham are a football team based in London. That is my opening sentence to my paragraph. So my top half of my top bun. Now I'm going to write supporting sentences to help me about the sentence. They're a football team based in London. Okay. They have played their matches. They have played their matches in the city since 1885, I believe. May have to look that one up. Since 1985 or 95, sorry. Making them the oldest football club in London. Their home ground, we're still talking about the location, aren't we, of London? Their home ground is near another London club called Chelsea. Now this is my closing sentence, when they play each other it is called a London derby. I'm now going to start talking about the kit. That's something completely different to the location of where they play football. So I'm now going to say Fulham's home kit is white shirts and black shorts. I haven't got any more space to continue this paragraph, but that's my opening to the next paragraph. Notice how I've missed a line and I've just carried on writing. And then when you have a look at my paragraph here, Fulham are a football team based in London. This is my opening sentence. My opening sentence includes, it's telling me that this paragraph is all about Fulham and where they are situated, telling us that they're in London. I then have supporting sentences to help me support that they're playing in London. They've played their matches in the city since 1985, making them the oldest football club in London. So that's one sentence. I then have another supporting sentence. Their home ground is near another London club called Chelsea. Okay, another supporting sentence. And then I finish the last bit with my closing. Okay, when they play each other, it is called a London derby. Okay, so I've finished my sentence, my paragraph, by kind of linking back to the beginning, saying that it's a London derby because they're close to each other. So that is how you write a paragraph. You have an opening sentence, have maybe one or two sentences to help explain that one, and then you finish it off, closing it up, making a nice juicy burger. And then I go on to my next topic because I started talking about the kit, so I need to start a new paragraph. Now, obviously, you're not going to be writing about football. You're doing yours about Mrs. Bowen, but that is how you write paragraphs. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Today, you need to be writing out the rest of your non-chronological report. To begin with, you need to think of subheadings that you're going to put down. That's the main thing. And that subheading will then help you write out your paragraph like I've done here for you. Remember the burger, remember how to construct it, and you should be able to write your paragraphs in that way. And remember, you're grouping your ideas together. So without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye and see you in the next video, guys. Have a good time and good luck with the work.